All right, guys, become a member on our YouTube channel, and you'll automatically be in our weekly raffle for our giveaway of basketballs. We got these dope Franklin basketballs we giving away all season. Thank you guys so much for the support with this channel. Let's get into our sports talk. Does a bad shooting performance equal up to a bad game? I'm gonna start with you, Trey. Does a bad shooting performance equal up to having a bad game?
Nah, just from basically just like what we was talking about. If you're having a bad shooting performance, you can impact the game in other ways. To where okay, I'm not dropping, I'm not getting points. I hope they're not giving me the ball, or you find players and you're saying to get scoring, to assist on some plays, do it on the offense end. There's other things that could come in. So the bad shooting performance doesn't necessarily equal up to a bad game, in my opinion.
But I disagree though, Trey, because like you said, you could still have impactful moments that might could even help you win or help your team win the game. But I'm looking at it from an individual standpoint. A bad game is a bad game. So if I shot 1 for 20 from the field and the bucket that I made was the game winner, we won the game. But when I look at my numbers, 1 for 20 in the game winner, even though I had impact, it wasn't a good game. What about
Correct.
you, BA? Does a bad shooting performance mean you have a bad game?
Yeah, it depends on. To me, it depends on if it depends on what type of caliber scorer you are. In general, if you are a pure scorer, and that's what you do, and you stink it up. Yeah, of course you're gonna say that. If you just somebody that they left open a bunch of times and you're not a scorer, but yet you have 15 rebounds, 8 assists, 9 assists, or something crazy, a couple of steals, a couple of blocks. No, because that's where your comfort really is. You just were left open that night and you weren't hitting shots, and y'all still won the game.
What about you, Hank? Does a bad shooting performance equal a bad game? Because I feel like if you know that you off or you don't feel like you on, stop shooting the basketball. Find other ways
Correct.
to help impact the game, like Trey was saying. But I feel like if you continue to jack up shots in said game, there's no way that you can spin it to say that you had a good game. So how do you look at this, Hank? If you have a bad shooting performance, does that mean that you had a bad game as well?
But the way you described it, yeah, I guess it would be a bad game. But I guess a lot of us, we probably were taught that you're not having a good shooting performance, you got to go out and do other things to help win the game. When we played, like growing up, so the closest one I could think of is probably Kobe in that Game 7 against Boston. Had a bad shooting performance, but he went out and played defense, assisted the ball, got other guys involved because he wasn't shooting well. And on the other end, Ray Allen wasn't shooting well, but Kobe was able to affect the game better, and they won.
Yeah, that's a great stat line right there. That's a great point, should I say?
What about you, D Money?
I put it like this: if you could have that Draymond stat line of 999 all day, but you
can't go out bragging
here.
on that though.
You can't, right? But you still did something. You can't go out there doing zero. You can't put up nothing like that. You can't go up there where you can't be shooting so much where it's a detriment to the team. Like that's what it comes down to. Where you're taking away shots from other people, that's when we're gonna start having like, hey dog, like what are we doing? You know what I mean? But I mean, as long as you kind of doing other things to affect the game, I mean, I feel like you could kind of get past that. If you could do those things to get past your bad shooting, I'm cool with that. But you can't be you can't be just like some stinkers. You know what I mean? So like how LA just did Russ. You know what I mean? How they just got him out of there and said how much of a bad shooter he was. And,
because he wouldn't stop shooting. Like he just wouldn't stop. Like I don't know what.
Hey, thank you, LeBron. Thank you again. It's LeBron. There wasn't nobody else. It was LeBron.
He had to try to compete, trying to win.